The alarm pierces the quiet of the pre-dawn. Outside, the world remains cloaked in a deep, velvety darkness, a stillness that feels almost primordial. Your bed. Oh, your bed. It's a sanctuary, a warm and familiar embrace that whispers promises of continued rest, a haven from the demands of the day that lies ahead. It feels like the most secure, the most tempting place on the entire planet. But in the hushed moments before the first sliver of sunlight kisses the horizon, a silent battle is waged. It's a battle fought not with swords or shields, but with willpower and intention. It's in this very instant, when the allure of slumber clashes with the whisper of ambition, that champions are forged. While the vast majority of the world remains lost in the realm of dreams, you possess a precious, fleeting opportunity. An opportunity not just to physically rise from your sheets, but to ascend into the very fabric of the life you've always envisioned. The philosophy of the 5 a.m. awakening transcends the mere act of setting an early alarm. It's a profound shift in perspective. A conscious decision to greet the dawn not with grogginess but with purpose. It's about seizing ownership of your day. About dictating its terms before the relentless tide of external pressures begins to pull you in a multitude of directions. It's about recognizing a fundamental truth. If the patterns of your life remain unchanged, the outcomes will invariably follow suit. Consider the rhythm of your days. Do you consistently wake at the same hour, navigate the same routines, engage in the same habits, and then find yourself pondering why your life seems to stagnate, why the desired transformations remain elusive? What if today, you dared to deviate from that well-worn path? What if today, you made the deliberate choice to rise before the sun paints the sky, and actively begin to sculpt the life you've only dared to dream about? True, lasting change isn't a passive event that occurs through mere anticipation. It's an active creation, born from a resolute decision, a decision made in the present moment, a firm declaration that the old excuses, the comforting justifications for inaction, no longer hold sway over your potential. At 5 a.m., a unique tranquility descends upon the world. The incessant barrage of notifications falls silent. The myriad distractions that typically clamor for your attention fade into the background. There are no urgent emails demanding immediate responses, no social media feeds vying for your fleeting attention, no external forces pulling you in a million different directions simultaneously. In this serene pre-dawn hour, it's just you, your thoughts, and the pure, unadulterated essence of your goals. Think about the subtle yet profound shift in perspective. At 5 a.m., you're not engaged in a direct competition with anyone else. The majority of the world is still cocooned in sleep, oblivious to the quiet work you're undertaking. This solitary time becomes your dedicated space to cultivate discipline, to engage in clear and focused thinking, and to proactively take control of the trajectory of your day. Reflect for a moment on the countless days that have slipped through your fingers, seemingly without conscious direction. Days that began on autopilot, characterized by a frantic rush out of bed, an immediate dive into the digital world of your phone, and a mindless scroll through endless streams of information. The 5 a.m. mindset offers a powerful antidote to this reactive existence. It provides you with a significant head start. By the time others are stirring from their slumber, you've already made a tangible investment in yourself. You've dedicated time to nurturing your physical well-being, sharpening your mental acuity, or actively pursuing the passions that fuel your dreams. In essence, you've already won a crucial early battle against inertia. So, the 5 a.m. mindset isn't solely about the temporal advantage of being awake earlier. It's fundamentally about cultivating intentionality in your action. Waking up before the demands of the day begin to encroach, well, it really forces you to live with a heightened sense of purpose. It necessitates planning your time with greater care, prioritizing the activities that truly align with your goals, and executing those plans with focused determination. And here lies a powerful principle. If you can consistently win the morning, you significantly increase your chances of winning the entire day. Let's be honest, this transformation won't be effortless. Your body, accustomed to its regular sleep cycle, will likely protest the early awakening. Your mind, ever seeking comfort and ease, will whisper persuasive arguments to succumb to the warmth of the sheets for just a little longer, convincing you that you deserve the extra rest. But comfort, while seemingly benign, can be a subtle yet insidious trap. Comfort breeds stagnation. It keeps you tethered to your current circumstances, preventing the very growth and progress you desire. True change, meaningful growth, and lasting success are rarely found within the confines of your comfort zone. They emerge from the willingness to embrace the challenges, to undertake the difficult tasks, and waking up at 5 a.m. initially will undoubtedly feel hard, but within this perceived difficulty lies a profound secret. Hard is where the magic happens. Every time you succumb to the snooze button, you're sending a subtle message to yourself. A message that your dreams, your aspirations can afford to wait. Every time you choose the familiar warmth of your bed over the nascent possibilities of the early morning, you're inadvertently granting your fears and your inertia a greater power than your vision for the future. However, when you consciously choose to rise, even when every fiber of your being urges you to stay put, you're sending an equally powerful message, a message of self-worth, a declaration that your goals are significant, that you are worth the initial discomfort. Yes, the initial stages of this transition might bring a degree of discomfort. Change, by its very nature, often does, but view that discomfort not as an enemy, but as a signpost. That ache in your muscles after an early workout, that slight mental fog as your brain adjusts to the new schedule, that is the sensation of progress. That is you actively breaking free from the invisible chains of mediocrity that might have held you back. See change not as a form of suffering to be endured, but as a process of evolution, a necessary shedding of old habits to make way for new, more empowering ones. Each early morning you conquer becomes another brick meticulously laid on the path to your own personal greatness. Discipline in this context is akin to a muscle. The more consistently you train it, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. And what better way to begin training this vital muscle than by consciously choosing discipline as the very foundation of your day? When you wake up at 5 a.m., despite the initial resistance, you are sending a clear and unambiguous message to your brain. You are in control. You are not allowing fleeting feelings of tiredness or a desire for comfort to dictate your action. Instead, you are actively building mental resilience, a steadfast inner strength that will serve you in countless other areas of your life. Imagine this scenario vividly. The 5 a.m. alarm sounds. You don't feel like getting up. Every instinct screams for more sleep, but you do it anyway. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, drink a refreshing glass of water, engage in a few stretches to awaken your body, and by 6 a.m., you've already completed a workout, a significant accomplishment that puts you ahead of the vast majority of people who haven't even begun their day. That surge of energy, that feeling of early momentum, it's almost unstoppable. And here's the truly transformative aspect. That initial act of discipline, that early victory over inertia, has a remarkable tendency to bleed into every other facet of your life. You'll likely find it easier to adhere to other commitments you've made, to maintain focus on your work tasks, and to push through challenges that might have previously seemed insurmountable. Discipline isn't just about waking up early. It's about taking conscious control of your entire life, one deliberate early morning at a time. Remember this crucial point: one solitary early morning, while a positive step, won't magically overhaul your life. The true power of the 5 a.m. mindset lies not in a single heroic effort, but in the consistent act of showing up day after day, even when motivation wanes. Consistency in the long run invariably triumphs over sporadic bursts of intensity. You don't need to wake up and attempt to conquer the entire world in a single day. Your only requirement is to wake up and take one small deliberate step forward. Think of it like the patient and persistent act of planting seeds. Every morning you choose to wake up early and invest in yourself, you're planting a seed of progress. You might not witness the immediate results, the sprouting of your efforts, but over time, with consistent nurturing, those seemingly small seeds will grow into something truly extraordinary. Success isn't a singular event, it's a gradual process, the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions repeated over time. And every 5 a.m. wake-up is an integral part of that long-term process. Inevitably, excuses will arise. Your mind will conjure reasons to deviate from your commitment. I'm just too tired today. I'll start fresh tomorrow. It's far too cold to get out of bed. But recognize that these excuses are often just fuel in disguise. Opportunities for growth disguised as obstacles. Every time you hear that insidious voice of doubt creeping in, consciously choose to use it as a catalyst for even greater motivation. Transform "I'm too tired" into "I'm actively getting stronger." Reframe "I'll start tomorrow" into "I'm starting now," because the future is never guaranteed. Turn "it's too cold" into "I am tougher and more resilient than the weather." Excuses are often the subtle lies we tell ourselves to justify staying within the comfortable confines of our current reality. But remember, true greatness has never been forged in the cradle of comfort. The next time the urge to hit the snooze button washes over you, pause for a moment and ask yourself a crucial question. Do I prioritize fleeting comfort, or do I genuinely desire tangible growth? The stark reality is that you often cannot simultaneously embrace both. When you consciously embrace the 5 a.m. mindset, you gain far more than just an early start to your day. You gain the invaluable gift of dedicated time to work on your personal development, Time to laser focus on your most important goals. Time for quiet contemplation. Time to strategically plan your actions and ultimately, time to grow into the person you aspire to be. Beyond the temporal advantage, you gain profound clarity. The stillness and quietude of the early morning provide a unique opportunity to connect with your inner self, to engage in meaningful reflection without the noise and distractions of the day, and to allow your biggest dreams to take shape in the peaceful expanse of your mind. You also cultivate a deep sense of confidence, knowing that you are consistently doing what the vast majority of people are not. Making the conscious effort to rise early and proactively shape your day instills a powerful sense of pride and self-respect. But perhaps the most significant benefit of adopting the 5 a.m. mindset is the profound sense of control it brings. Control over your most precious resource, your time. Control over the formation of positive and empowering habits. And ultimately, a greater sense of control over the direction of your future. You are no longer simply reacting to the events of your life as they unfold. You are actively taking the reins and creating the life you truly desire. The 5 a.m. mindset isn't merely a fleeting habit to be adopted and discarded. It's a fundamental shift towards a proactive and intentional lifestyle. It's a daily commitment to becoming a slightly better version of yourself with each passing sunrise. Momentum is a powerful force in all aspects of life, and it is particularly potent in the context of the 5 a.m. mindset. When you consistently wake up early, day after day, you create a positive and reinforcing cycle of productivity and achievement. Think of it like the arduous task of pushing a heavy boulder. The initial push, overcoming the inertia, is undoubtedly the most challenging, but once that boulder begins to roll, it gathers speed and momentum, becoming progressively easier and faster to move forward. Similarly, waking up early isn't just about those initial morning hours. It's about establishing a positive rhythm that propels you forward with greater energy and focus throughout the entire day. Remember that this journey doesn't demand immediate perfection. Start small, with manageable adjustments. Perhaps on the first day, aim to wake up just an hour earlier than your usual time, say 6 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. Then in the following week, gradually push that wake-up time back by another 15 minutes. The key is not to strive for immediate, unsustainable perfection, but to focus on consistent, incremental progress. With each successful early awakening, you are providing yourself with tangible proof that you are capable of undertaking challenging tasks. And when you cultivate that inner belief in your own capabilities, you become an unstoppable force. Motivation, as many have experienced, is a fickle companion. It ebbs and flows like the wind, unreliable and often absent when you need it most. But mindset, on the other hand, is a deeper, more enduring force. The 5 a.m. mindset isn't about waiting for a surge of motivation to strike before taking action. It's about acting despite how you might feel in any given moment. It's rooted in the profound understanding that the consistent actions you take now will ultimately shape the person you become in the future. The truth, often unspoken, is that even the most successful individuals don't wake up every single day feeling overwhelmingly motivated. They experience tiredness, they grapple with stress, they face moments of doubt, but they still show up, they still take those crucial steps forward. Why? Because they have cultivated a powerful mindset, an internal compass that tells them, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is the path I have chosen. Adopting the 5 a.m. mindset means, consciously deciding that you are the kind of person who rises early, who works diligently towards their goals, and who possesses an unwavering commitment to never giving up. It's not just about the specific actions you take in those early hours. It's about the fundamental identity you are actively forging. This is your wake-up call, quite literally. The life you truly desire is waiting for you, not in some distant future, but in the potential of each new day. However, that life isn't going to magically materialize while you remain nestled in the comfort of your bed. It will begin to take shape when you choose to rise, to embrace the early dawn, and to actively claim the future you envision. Don't wait for the perfect moment to arrive. Don't passively await the elusive spark of motivation. Don't expect someone else to provide the impetus for your transformation. Be your own source of motivation. Push yourself beyond your perceived limitations. Remember, the sun doesn't wait for permission to rise, and neither should you. So tomorrow morning, when the insistent ring of your alarm pierces the stillness, remember this fundamental truth: nothing changes if nothing changes. Wake up, rise up, and take conscious ownership of your day. The empowering call of the 5 a.m. mindset is beckoning. Will you answer? The journey into the 5 a.m. world is a personal one, and honestly, the specific activities you engage in during those early hours will vary depending on your individual goals and preferences. However, the underlying principle remains the same. intentionality, and proactive engagement with your day before the demands of the world begin to encroach. This dedicated time becomes a powerful tool for self-improvement, goal achievement, and cultivating a greater sense of purpose and control over your life. Embrace the dawn and unlock the extraordinary potential that lies within you.